Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're focusing on a very specific, very tiny moment of terror that I think everyone listening is going to recognize immediately.
Oh, wait.
It's that split second where your finger is hovering over the send button and you just
It's a
freeze.
universal pause.
Right. You stare at the screen and you start spiraling. You read the sentence back to yourself and think, do I sound like a jerk? Do I sound too desperate? Is this weird?
Amazing.
It is. How much anxiety we can pack into a 3-sentence email about a PDF file.
It really is the defining anxiety of the modern workplace.
Yeah.
It's fascinating because we spent probably half our lives in our inboxes, yet
Yeah.
nobody ever really handed us the manual for it.
No.
We just sort of figured it out by trial and error, and mostly error.
And that's exactly what we're tackling today. We're exploring the gap, the massive canyon, really,
Right.
between the English we were taught in school, the textbooks, with the perfect grammar and the rigid structures, and the real English used in the modern office. Because looking at our research today, it's pretty clear they are not the same language.
They aren't just different dialects. They operate on completely different rule sets. Think about it.
Okay.
Standard education focuses on grammatical correctness. Subject, verb, object. Did you spell everything right? But email English is entirely different.
How so?
It's built on subtext, tone, and social hierarchy.
Uh,
You can write a sentence that gets a perfect 10 out of 10 on a grammar test. But if you send it to a client
right?
or a sensitive colleague, it might come across as robotic or weirdly intense or even aggressive.
So our mission today is to decode this. We've got a stack of research, linguistic analysis, and workplace psychology notes here that act as a sort of Rosetta Stone for office communication.
A decoder ring.
Exactly. We're going to unpack the hidden meanings behind those phrases we see every day, master the art of tone, and hopefully figure out how to stop sounding like we're barking orders.
That's the goal. And I think it's important to say up front, whether you're the boss, an intern, or a freelancer, this matters.
It really does.
Digital communication strips away all the tools we've evolved to use, body language, vocal tone, facial expressions. All you have are the words on the screen.
That's it.
So we need to understand what people really mean versus what they are actually typing.
Okay, let's unpack this. I want to jump right into the deep end with the very first thing we usually type, the opener.
Let's do it.
We see this 100 times a day. Hope you're well.
The classic.
On the surface, it seems so nice, it's warm, it's caring. I hope you are well. That sounds like something a friend would say.
It does.
But looking at the linguistic breakdown here, there's a serious disconnect between the literal meaning and the function, isn't there?
Absolutely. What's fascinating here is that while the words literally express a desire for your well-being, in the context of email English, the phrase is essentially meaningless.
Meaningless.
It's what linguists call phatic communication.
Phatic communication. What's
Yeah.
that?
It's speech that is used to establish a social atmosphere rather than to communicate information. It's polite noise.
Polite noise?
It's the email equivalent of a quick nod in the hallway or saying hello when you pick up the phone. You aren't actually asking for a diagnosis.
You're just signaling, I am a friendly human, not a robot, and I come in peace.
That's it, exactly.
So when I get an email asking, hope you're well, they don't actually want to know how I'm doing. They don't want to hear about my cold or my bad sleep.
Generally, no. And this is a trap people fall into, especially if they're new to the workforce.
Oh, I can see that.
They see that opening and think they need to reciprocate with actual data. But the rule here is no one wants the health update.
Right.
If you reply with, I'm doing great, I actually slept 8 hours last night, although my cat woke me up at 4 a.m.,
Yeah.
you have completely misread the room.
You've made it weird.
You've broken the rhythm. You've turned a handshake into a medical history.
And the sender's just sitting there thinking, I just wanted the spreadsheet. Why are we talking about your cat? So what's the move? Do we just delete it? Because honestly, jumping straight into I need the report feels a little abrupt, doesn't it?
It depends entirely on the relationship currency you have with that person. Efficiency is often viewed as politeness in the modern workplace.
That's a good point.
Saving someone time is a gift. If you know the person well, or you're several emails deep in a chain, you can absolutely skip the pleasantry.
Okay.
You can just say, I'm writing regarding the report.
It's funny because my instinct is that skipping it is rude, but I can see your point. By getting to the point, I'm respecting their time.
Exactly. You're not forcing them to read polite noise.
Yeah.
But if it's a first email, or you feel you must acknowledge it, treat it like a tennis ball.
A tennis ball.
They served "Hope you're well." You
Yeah.
just lightly tap it back with a mental thanks and move immediately to business. Do not hold the ball.
Do not hold the ball.
I like that.
Just hit it back.
Okay, let's move to a word that I am personally guilty of using way too much. The word is just, as in, I'm just checking in, or I just wanted to ask. Ugh, the word just. It's incredibly powerful and a little dangerous. In linguistics, we call this a hedge or a softener.
A softener, so we're trying to cushion the blow.
Precisely. Think about the subtext. If I write, checking in on the project, that's a direct request. It creates pressure.
Right, it puts you on the spot.
But if I write, I'm just checking in, I am signaling to you that I'm aware I might be interrupting. I'm trying to minimize my imposition.
It's like I'm tiptoeing into your inbox. Don't mind me, just looking for that file.
That's a perfect visual. It makes the sender sound gentle rather than demanding. It's a strategic way to preserve the relationship while still making a demand on someone's time.
But is there a downside? Because I feel like sometimes I look back at a draft and I've used just 3 times in one paragraph. I just thought, just maybe.
That is the warning label on this one. Overusing just signals a lack of confidence. It can make you sound unsure or apologetic about your own existence.
Right, it sounds like I'm asking for permission to do my job. Sorry to bother you with the work I'm paid to manage.
Exactly. And there's research suggesting this happens frequently when people are writing up the hierarchy to a boss. They want to be deferential, so they're just everything.
But it undermines your authority.
It does. If you say, I just think we should change the strategy, it sounds like a passing whim. If you say, I think we should change the strategy, it's a proposal. It has weight.
That's a really crucial distinction. So the balance is using it strategically.
Use it when you need to soften a command, specifically when you are asking for a favor or reminding someone of something they forgot. But don't sprinkle it on everything like salt.
Okay, so use just for favors, delete just for opinions. That is actionable.
That's a great rule of thumb.
Now let's pivot to a phrase that I think causes actual spikes in blood pressure. The phrase is, as discussed, or its stuffy cousin, per our conversation.
Oh, yes. The paper trail. The weaponized reminder.
To me, this always feels like a fight. As discussed. It sounds like, why are you making me say this again?
That's because it often is exactly that. This is a potential minefield. As discussed has a literal meaning. We talked about this.
Which is factual.
It seems factual,
Mhm.
but the subtext is often, we already talked about this, why didn't you listen? Please remember.
It's passive-aggressive. It's like a gentle slap on the wrist.
It certainly can be. It's a way of pointing to the scoreboard. I am right, you are forgetting, and I am putting it in writing so that if this project fails, I can point to this email and say, see, I told them.
It's an insurance policy disguised as an email.
It is.
But wait, playing devil's advocate here, sometimes we do need to remind people. If I'm waiting on a deliverable that we talked about last Tuesday, how do I remind them without sounding like a jerk?
No, and this is where context and phrasing save you. You can soften the blow.
Okay.
Instead of the cold, as discussed, send the file. Try adding some utility to it. Frame the email as a helpful summary.
Give me an example. How do I make you forgot sound like, here's a gift?
Something like, as discussed earlier, I'm just sharing the details below to keep everything in one place.
Oh, I see. That shifts the tone completely.
Right. It shifts from you forgot to I am being helpful by providing a central resource. You're still holding them accountable.
You're framing the email as a collaborative act.
Exactly. Rule number 1 of office politics. Always give the other person a graceful way to comply.
I'm writing that down. Give them a graceful way to comply. That's gold.
If you corner them, they get defensive. This way, they can say thanks and do the work. You get what you want without the conflict.
Okay, let's talk about the mechanics of asking for things. This is where the textbook versus reality thing really hits hard. In school, you learn, can you?
Can you send the file?
Right. But in the workplace, can you feels blunt. Is it just me?
It's not just you. Can is technically an ability check. Can you send the file? Literally asks, do you have the physical capability to send the file?
It sounds like a command.
Or a challenge to their competence. In the hierarchy of requests, we overwhelmingly prefer the conditional tense. We prefer could.
Could you send the file?
Yes. Could creates a theoretical possibility. It implies that the person has a choice, even if they really don't. It sounds more polite, more professional.
It's softer. It feels less like an order. But I've seen people go way too far with this. I've seen emails that are like, could you please, kindly, possibly?
The stacking crap. We laugh, but it happens all the time. When people feel anxious about asking for something, they stack politeness markers on top of each other.
And it just sounds desperate, like you're begging.
It sounds cluttered, anxious, and frankly, it makes the reader do too much work to find the verb. The rule is, one polite word is enough.
And that is?
Could you please? Is the gold standard.
Yeah.
It's polite, it's clear, it's respectful. Anything more is just noise.
Could you please is the sweet spot. Got it. Okay, here is where it gets really interesting for me. We need to talk about one-word replies. Specifically one word that chills my soul. Noted.
The temperature in the room just dropped 5 degrees.
Right. If I send a long, thoughtful email explaining a strategy, pouring my heart into it, and I get back, noted, I assume I'm in trouble.
Or that they hate you, or both.
Exactly.
You aren't alone in that. Noted is dangerous because of its emotional ambiguity. Technically, it means I understand. A receipt of information.
But it feels dismissive. It feels like a door slamming shut.
It does. It frequently signals, I don't agree with you, but I am acknowledging you spoke. Or, I am annoyed by this.
Yeah.
It's the fine of the email world.
The fine. Oof. Yeah, that hits hard. So is noted ever safe to use?
I mean, maybe for purely confirming data receipt, like the packages arrived, noted. That's okay.
But for anything involving ideas or opinions?
Never leave noted naked. If you mean well, you have to add warmth to clarify your intent. You cannot rely on the recipient to give you the benefit of the doubt.
So noted, thank you.
Yes. Or, got it, thanks. Understood. Even just adding thanks diffuses the bomb. It tells the person, I have received this and I'm not angry about it.
It takes 1 extra second to type thanks, but it saves the other person an hour of spiraling anxiety.
That is a very good return on investment for 5 letters.
Seriously. Okay, let's talk about how we end these things. Because there's a phrase that I see in signatures constantly. Let me know if you have any questions.
The rhythmic closer?
Is that what it is? Just rhythm?
Mostly. Think about it. You always mean it. When you send a policy update to 50 people, do you truly want 20 people replying with questions?
Honestly, no. Usually, please do not have questions. I am done with this topic. Let me live my life.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Let me know if you have any questions. Is often just a signal that the email is finished. It's not a genuine invitation.
So if we actually do want feedback or we want to close differently, what should we do?
If you want feedback, be specific. Please let me know your thoughts on Section 3 is better. But if we are talking about sign-offs, the actual best regards part, there is an opportunity here to be strategic.
Move beyond best regards.
Best regards is fine. It's safe. But if you're asking someone to do something, you can use what we call cooperative closers.
Like what?
Thanks in advance. Many thanks. Appreciate your support.
Thanks in advance always strikes me as a bit of a power move.
It is. It absolutely is. Why do you think that is?
Because? Well, I haven't done the thing yet. But you're thanking me for it, so now I feel like I have to do it.
Exactly. It subtly compels the recipient to help because you've already thanked them for the completion of the task. It assumes cooperation.
It's a very polite trap.
It's psychologically very clever. Appreciate your support. Does the same thing. It frames their compliance as them being a supportive, good colleague.
It's manipulation, but the polite kind.
It's persuasive communication. It's nudging the outcome you want.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. I want to bring this all together. Let's do a before and after transformation.
Great idea. Let's make this concrete.
Let's say I need a file from a colleague. The before version, the blunt robotic version, is simply, send me the file.
Ouch. I mean, it's clear. It's grammatically correct.
Right.
But it feels like a slap. It's a raw command.
It's what you say to a smart speaker, not a person. Computer, send me the file.
Right. So let's apply everything we've talked about. We need to shift the tone from a demand to a collaborative request.
Okay. So, step 1. We ditch the imperative send. We use the conditional.
Could you?
We add the gold standard politeness marker.
Could you please?
Now, a softener to show we respect their time so we don't sound like we're demanding it right this second.
When you have a moment.
Perfect. So the after version is, could you please send the file when you have a moment?
Listen to the difference. Send me the file versus, could you please send the file when you have a moment?
It's the exact same message. The informational content is identical, but the feeling is totally transformed.
Totally. The before version treats the recipient like a machine. The after version treats them like a human being with their own schedule and priorities.
And paradoxically, that is why they are more likely to help you quickly. You aren't forcing them. You are asking them.
Exactly.
It's amazing how much work those little words are doing. Could please, moment. They are the lubricant that keeps the office machine from grinding gears.
That's a great analogy, because if you strip those out, if you just rely on efficient data transfer, relationships break down.
So, taking a step back, what does this all mean for the listener?
I think the key takeaway is that succeeding in workplace communication isn't about having a massive vocabulary or perfect grammar. It's about intention, tone, and empathy.
Right.
It's about understanding that there is a human on the other side of that screen who is also stressed, also busy, and also reading into every word you type.
It's funny, we spend so much time worrying about what we are working on, the content of the report, but we rarely think about how we are talking about it.
Right. And these unwritten rules we discussed, they aren't about being fake. It's not a game. It's about signaling safety.
Safety.
They're about saying, I am safe to work with, I respect you, I am not a threat.
I think that's a really powerful place to land. It's not manipulation, it's consideration, it's social awareness.
Exactly.
Before we go, I want to leave you with a thought. We've talked about all these scripts. Hope you're well. Let me know if you have questions. We rely on them so heavily.
We do.
It makes me wonder how much of our professional personality is just a collection of safe corporate habits.
That's a provocative question.
Right. Like, if you stripped away the just checking ins and the best regards, would your email voice sound anything like you?
Or are we all just wearing the same digital mask because we're afraid to be real? That is something to mull over next time you are typing out a reply.
Deep thoughts. Listen, if you have a friend or a coworker, maybe that one coworker who sends the noted emails, who really needs help with their email tone, maybe forward this deep dive to them.
It's a subtle nudge.
A very subtle nudge, just putting it out there. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
We'll catch you on the next deep dive.